President Donald Trump and the Republican Party are tonight rallying around the candidacy of Roy Moore in Alabama. Tonight, Steve Bannon will be at a rally in the state, and President Trump reiterated his support today on camera.
I think he's going to do very well. We don't want to have a liberal Democrat in Alabama, believe me. We want strong borders. We want stopping crime. We want to have the things that we represent, and we certainly don't want to have a liberal Democrat that's controlled by Nancy Pelosi and controlled by Chuck Schumer. We don't want to have that for Alabama.
So it's a political decision. Roy Moore is accused of sexual misconduct by several women, including one who says she was abused when she was 14. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has backed off of much of his opposition to Moore, saying it's up to the people of Alabama. McConnell says if he wins, Republican Roy Moore will still face a Senate Ethics Committee probe. The country's longest-serving Congress member is being forced to retire amid his own sexual misconduct scandal. Michigan Democrat John Conyers told a Detroit radio station today that he's quitting the House of Representatives. Several women have come forward to accuse him of sexual harassment on the job. Conyers' office did pay some $27,000 to settle what he called a work-related claim. He denies any wrongdoing.
My legacy can't be compromised or diminished in any way by what we're going through now. This too shall pass.
John Conyers is 88 years old. He was elected to Congress back in 1964. He was the senior Democrat on the Judiciary Committee. He was a founding member of the influential and powerful Congressional Black Caucus. Joining me tonight, D.C. Congressmember Eleanor Holmes Norton. Your reaction to John Conyers and how he's leaving?
Well, John is a friend, and John has done a lot for his district. He's done a lot for the country. But I tell you, Bruce, I was the chair of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, who after hearings declared that sexual harassment was a violation, is a violation of Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, and the Supreme Court affirmed our guidance. It ill behooves me to say that the women don't matter, and we got to let friendship stand in the way. And look at the difference between how the Democrats are treating John Conyers, which is, I believe, the way he must be treated, and the way the president and the Republicans are treating Roy Moore. Nancy Pelosi came out and said that John Conyers should resign. The reason I support that is that if John did not resign, he would have to take himself through a terrible ethics committee hearing where he would have to face his accusers. Now, if you think going out this way, where he simply resigns, is bad, imagine what would happen if he came back and had an ethics trial of a sort.
Right. What about Al Franken? Should he also resign?
And Al Franken has to face his own tribulations as well. Now, Al Franken has chosen to face his accusers. He's not, he has said he's sorry. He has said some of it should not have happened. Some of it happened before he was even a member of the Senate. And so if you want to go through a process which is available for every member of the Senate, then I think you should go through that process. And mark my word, John could have chosen that process too, but he did the right thing, and he chose to resign so as to not to mar the record he has achieved in Congress.
Okay, let's move on to Roy Moore. I think Roy Moore wins this election. And I think he will win because enough women, I'll be even more specific, enough white women, black women won't, but white women will vote for him. They'll choose politics over everything else that's been said. Your take?
Well, first of all, maybe 20–25% of the electorate is blacks, and black women are big voters. But it is true that a number of those white women would have to say, I can't vote for somebody who's a child molester. And we didn't see that happen when Trump was running. White women voted for Trump anyway, so I'm afraid I'm pessimistic, as you are, that Roy Moore can win. But one of the reasons I'm pessimistic is not just the electorate, but the Republican Party has opened its coffers. It had closed them down. as had the president, who said, well, just a moment, I'm not going to endorse him. I can say it's up to the people. Now he said, I endorse him, and the Republican Party has said, we are all in, and they have thrown in the Republican National Committee's money.
Which underscores what we hear. There's no doubt that Donald Trump is now in charge of the Republican Party. There is no Donald Trump versus Mitch McConnell, any of that. Mitch McConnell lost. He has surrendered.
This is Trump's party, and the real question for my Republican colleagues is, can you get your party back?
Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Always good.
All right.